Now time for the 7 things you'll be talking about today. Number 7.
You know, it's about time they give Nick Saban his due and someone point out that he's good at what he did at the University of Alabama. He never really got praised, and it's about time they finally hook him up. Alabama's going to rename the field after him. Not the whole stadium, just the field. You know, they did this at the University of Florida. It's Steve Spurrier Field at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, and now you're going to get Nick Saban Field in Bryant-Denny Stadium, which is exactly appropriate. The guy is the greatest college football coach of all time, and you give him all the accolades you possibly can while you can. He'll also be honored by being inducted into the Culverhouse College of Business at the University of Alabama's Hall of Fame as well, so they're going to get awarded with that. Look, I think you could make the case that Nick Saban is an economic engine alone in what he did at the University of Alabama, so that right there warrants that. So good accolades for a guy that goes down in history.
Number 6.
Oh, no, another one bites the dust. Oh, it's so sad, so sad. I'm crying. Alabama executes Keith Edmund Gavin. They killed him yesterday, and he deserved it. Lethal injection took this guy out. What did he do? You're hard-pressed to find it. Some of the media reporting crying about him. 1998 murder of William Clayton Jr. in Cherokee County as he tried to use an ATM to get money out to take his wife out on the town. And this guy comes up and kills him, and it's just it's a mess. Governor Kay Ivey, Attorney General Steve Marshall both issued statements emphasizing his guilt and how long it took to execute him. It went on without delay. Here, his last words were expression of love for his family. Very sweet, very sweet. But he's dead, and that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. Let's speed up this execution machine. Let's go.
Number 5.
Alabama Governor Kay Ivey praised the Republican Party for adopting, quote, universal school choice, end quote, into its 2024 platform at the Republican National Convention. The platform emphasizes expanding parental rights, promoting career training, patriotic civics education, and enhancing student discipline, all things that will help these children in the future. Ivey highlighted the importance of quality education for all students, regardless of their location, much like Alabama's Choose Act, which will provide $7,000 in education savings accounts for eligible students starting in the 2025-2026 school year. So school choice on the national level is becoming more and more and more important and more prevalent. You got states talking about expanding it further. Hopefully Alabama gets on board with that too.
Number 4.
Talked about this a little yesterday, but this is an important story still. Alan Treadaway, state representative, he gave an editorial at YellowHammerNews.com talking about what's going on in Montgomery, because the mayor in Birmingham seems to be getting all the attention. He seems to be getting all of the attention right now when it comes to cities that have massive problems. Well, he wants to give Montgomery some of that attention as well. He is a former police officer, chairman of the House Public Safety, Homeland Security Committee. He said Mayor Reed's violent crime problem in Montgomery is his problem. He argues that Reed is wrongly blaming constitutional carry for the violence, but it's not that. He says it's poor leadership, low police morale, and inadequate use of the Firearms Prohibited Persons database as key issues. He says local leadership's the issue. He did not mention state legislation in his piece. I found that interesting.
Number 3.
Former United States Senator Doug Jones missed the memo on dropping the incendiary rhetoric, not that other Democrats are actually doing it, and is continuing to suggest his political opponents are dangerous to democracy by stating Donald Trump and his MAGA extremists are literally being in capital letters, going to take everyone's rights if they win. I thought we were going to stop doing this. Didn't we at least pretend we were going to stop doing this? I know Joe Biden didn't stop doing this. Does Doug Jones know that they said they were going to stop doing this? Anyway, he finally broke his silence on the assassination attempt by using incendiary rhetoric and sharing a message by Democratic strategist David Yankovich, claiming Trump and his supporters threaten America's rights and calls for action. Of course, they used the 2025 thing. Project 2025 will literally take your rights away, everyone. You must stop them. Stop them now, please.
Number 2.
It looks like they finally got President Joe Biden, as he is facing new challenges regarding his re-election campaign as he deals with yet another COVID-19 infection, which has paused his campaign events and sequestered him inside his home in Delaware. Now, he is apparently surrounded with people who are telling him, hey, you're the best. But here's a call from Barack Obama. And Barack Obama goes, Joe, you got to get out of the race. Michelle's available. Not a very good Barack Obama, but I don't care. There it is. Joe Biden's telling him, Barack Obama's telling him he's got to go. Everyone else inside the circle saying, maybe you should stay in. He's contemplating his political future. It could potentially drop out on Sunday, though no decision is expected before the weekend. So, all right. That means we won't get a decision here in the next 12 hours. Okay, great.
Now, time for the number 1 thing you'll be talking about today.
Former President Donald Trump accepted the GOP presidential nomination at the Republican National Convention, delivering a speech that was deeply personal and moving, albeit way too long. The part about surviving the assassination attempt was very compelling, but he said it's the last time he's going to talk about it. He had tears in his eyes, and it really was something that if you didn't see it, at least go watch the first 20 or 30 minutes of that thing. It was great. It was great. I could have done without the call out to every person that ever spoke at the Republican National Convention. He went around the room. He did all that. He talked about the policies he wants to implement. Not a lot of victimization stuff about himself. I also like that he did not mention Joe Biden, but I think one time by name and one other time altogether, which I thought was an interesting choice. Almost setting up an argument that, like, I wasn't talking about them. Why are they talking about me? Like, I think that's at their convention. The main speech will be Donald Trump is the devil and he's got to be stopped. So he had a softer tone. He outlined a hardline populist agenda focusing on immigration and trade. And the unity thing is a big deal. By the way, there's a poll done about Republican unity. 96% of Republicans were either satisfied or ecstatic about J.D. Vance as the vice presidential nominee. 4% were not happy. 4% were not happy. Trump's speech, however, was the longest in modern convention history. I don't know how they rank that. Did some guy in like 1812 give a 2-hour speech? Yeah, I'd be yawning about that too. They highlighted a significant turning point in his campaign. It's a new tone by Donald Trump, and we'll see how long it goes on. Is this when he became presidential? They'll start saying and things like that. But I thought it was great. I give it a B+. It could have been better, though. It could have been a lot shorter. That would how I would have framed it as a better speech. Thank you very much to everyone who has been paying attention to this. We did a stream last night. Over 1,200 people showed up on the stream. So 1,200 people showed up on the stream at Facebook.com/TheDaleJackson and Twitter.com/TheDaleJackson. So thank you very much for that. If you'd like to jump in here, easy to do so. You can pick up the phone right now and give us a call at the QC Kinetics free speech phone lines, 866-494-WVNN. You can jump in right there if you'd like. The 7 things, of course, brought to you by my friends at Two Men in a Truck. You got to make that move. You got to get ready. You got to get going. You got to do it, but you don't want to do it yourself because you're going to mess your stuff up. You're going to eat up a ton of your time. And in the end, it's going to be just a giant hassle that's not worth it. What is worth it? Talking to my friends at Two Men in a Truck. They're awesome. They'll do a great job for you. They have what's known as the grandma rule. Treat everyone the way you want your grandma to be treated. And that's pretty well. 2 Men in a Truck. Huntsville.com. They're ready to help you out. Get your estimate right there. Talk to these guys. I've used them. We were very happy with what they've done for us. You'll be happy as well. 2 Men in a Truck, Huntsville.com. Check them out today. When you do, make sure you tell them Dale Jackson sent you.
Get WVNN's Dale Jackson's 7 things you should be talking about today right in your email box every morning. Go to yellowhammernews.com and sign up today.